Hey, welcome! So, my Sculpt New York order came in, I want to say at least 2 weeks ago now, and I've been playing around with it, super happy with it. There are a couple things in here that I want to include in some future videos I have coming up, but I figured I would do a bit of a deep dive on the products themselves and at the very least show how they perform on my skin tone in this hopefully quick video. So, back near the end of the summer, so I think late August or early September, I ordered during their summer sale pre-order, which was 50% off $80 or more of product. And I just noticed on their website they also have a similar thing. It's 30% off orders of 80 or more if you pre-order them. So all that is to say that they run pretty deep discounts pretty often if you're willing to be a little patient for when your product shows up. I went and ordered the big magnetic palette, which is very luxe. If you haven't seen or heard of this brand before, Sculpt New York is, I believe, founded by Kiki, who is a YouTuber, and I feel like it's like the most impressive influencer product line I've seen to date, and it also doesn't feel like I feel like Kiki seems kind of not removed. She's obviously very involved in the process, but I don't necessarily associate her strongly to this. I feel like the products really shine for themselves. So for example, this magnetic case is just really well thought out and it feels high quality. It feels very protected of the things inside. It's got this faux leather outer ring and a zipper to enclose your palette, so it feels super secure. There's a bit of a magnetic shut inside. There is a nice big mirror and a lot of room to hold your cream tints. And on top of the, okay, so this one was $35. I don't know if I said that already. There's a mini one that is super cute, super compact, equally as high quality looking, that fits exactly 4 of these inside for $20. And then most of her cream color products, they all come in these magnetic pans that you can fit inside either of the palettes, are $16 each, so very much mid-range pricing, but you can get them at pretty good discounts. And I feel like the formulation quality as well as the component quality is very luxe, so pretty impressive all in all. And inside I have the this is the Creme Tint Pro in Taupe, which is a contour shade. The Creme Tint Pro in, oh, this is the Sculpt and Bronze line. These are both from the Sculpt and Bronze line, and this is in light medium, so more of a warmish bronzy shade. And then the lip and cheek tint in Spice, which I mostly just use as a cheek product. I've tried it on my lips, but I haven't really run into many lip and cheek tint sort of products that I like on my lips. But that's for another time. The only thing that's, this palette is very nice as far as magnetic travel palettes go. It's probably one of the nicest I've encountered. The only thing is it doesn't fit all of the pans. If you were to fill this entire thing with pans of her size, you would be left with a lot of inconvenient spacing. So that was kind of a weird choice, and I don't really mind because I have plenty of other things that I can just fill this palette with myself. Again, you could just buy the palette if you really like this, not the palette, just the carrying case, and fill it up with whatever pans you want inside without even getting her cream products, or vice versa. If you already have magnetic palettes, you can just opt for the cream tints. But I just thought it was interesting that they don't perfectly fit into her own case. Whatever though. So getting into the products that I actually have here, I guess I just wanted to demo how they go on my skin and talk about how they perform, which overall is very well. So I'll swatch them all together here, and I tried to pick up a similar amount of each of them. So here is Taupe, here is light bronze, and then here is the blush in Spice. And let me show them on the back of my hand. So this one and this one are very, very similar formulas. As you can see, this is a bit more cool toned, and for me, it's quite perfect. The shade in Taupe is a bit more cool tone, and for me, it's really perfect just for like enhancing the hollows of my cheeks, and it's just super easy to work with. I do find it adds like just a little bit of shadow, nothing crazy. I never look too like ghastly or like it's a harsh line, super easy to blend out, so love that. And then the bronzer is much warmer, and I use that on like the higher points of my face, on my forehead, wherever sun would naturally hit, and it's just a really nice bronzer color for me right now. I am pretty light in skin tone, I would say, but if I was a few shades lighter or a few shades deeper, I still think both of these colors work for me. Their bronzer line is pretty good in that they have a shade lighter than this and multiple shades deeper than this. However, I believe this color in Taupe is the only contour shade, and if I was much deeper, I don't think the contour would really look like anything on me. So just gonna throw that out there. And these both dry down to a very, very thin and skin-like finish, which is exactly what I want from my bronzer or contour. It leaves a little bit of luminosity, and it makes it look as if your skin was naturally well moisturized, but it doesn't add any dewiness. There's no tackiness. If I touch my skin after, there's like no residual residue that I can feel, and I very, very much prefer that. It doesn't really add like aggressive glow. It's not mattifying, not drying. It just kind of feels like it's become one with the skin. It blends out super well. It's really, really thin, but there is like a little bit, like it still lets your skin peek through, so it looks super natural. Just these formulas are very good at like, one, being easy to work with, two, kind of just like letting your skin peek through so it feels really natural, and it just blends out really easily. They work well both with like fingers, brushes, or beauty blender. My preferred way of applying is with beauty blender, and I find that these formulas are a little like firm in the pan, but they really like melt as soon as you touch them, which I think is just perfect, because some formulations, if they're too soft in a pan and you go in with like a beauty blender or even a brush, you might like mush the product around, and I really don't like how like messy the pans end up over time, and this is not the case. So moving on to the blush, I have the color in Spice, which I know is a little intimidating in the pan, but super easy to work with. So this color in Spice has a little bit more like brightness in pigment, but also a little bit more translucency. And it's also much more luminous than the bronzer formulas, which I think is appropriate. I don't really have any complaints about that. But as you can see, you can kind of spread and move the product around kind of easily to let more of your skin show through or to build it up more. So I'm just gonna kind of spread this around. And yeah, I think the bronzers are much more even and like a cream color, but the blush has a lot more like just translucency and like a little bit more dewiness to it, and I feel like it just pops a little more like right here on your cheeks, and that translucency really allows it to be easy to work with, easy to apply onto many different types of skin tones. Like I was a little worried this would be too deep for me, but it's really not the case at all. In fact, I'll just pop a little bit more on. Like, it looks pretty intimidating at first, right? But then it just kind of blends away and it layers nicely with the other products. Like, I can still see like that I have bronzer on here, and the blush doesn't completely cover that. It just adds on top while letting the stuff I had on before peek through. I can really like see that it is not something that's just sitting on top of my skin, so it looks like I'm like naturally flushing or something like that. Yeah, it just is very flattering. It doesn't last. The bronzer and contour last fine on me. Nothing that I would like really notice is offensive or super long lasting, but the blush doesn't last that long on me because I will often put some on and feel like, I got like a solid amount of blush on, and then I'll look back an hour later and think, where did it go? So there is that to consider, but all in all, these work really well along with each other. Like I said, the blush has just a bit of translucency, so like if I layer my contour and bronzer on and then apply blush last, I can still see everything like where I put it for, and I really, really like that about these products. I like how thin on the skin they are. They're just really, really flattering and easy to work with. Would recommend. I think, yeah, for the price and the quality, just everything is really well thought out. Going back to the blushes, they have a great color range of like, they will have a 1-to-1 of similar colors, but like one is more vibrant and one is more muted if you wanted. For example, they have a like lighter peachy shade but a more vibrant coral, so you can really hopefully find a color for anyone. They also have these mixing pigments that are just pans of like yellow or blue or white or black that'll help you color adjust if you want to get like your exact tone that you're looking for. So I think that is a cool product to have. And overall, I've just been reaching for these pretty often. Whenever I bust out this palette, I find myself just putting all of them on because they just layer so well and like prettily over one another. So yeah. Okay, let me know if you have any favorites from this brand. I only got one blush this time. Would be curious to try more. I think the 2 bronzers I have are very sufficient for me in my coloring right now. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.